A lady was walking down the street to work, and she saw a parrot on a perch in front of a pet store. Well, the parrot said to her, "Hey, lady, you're real ugly." Well, the lady was furious. She stormed past the store and went to work. Well, on her way home, she saw the same parrot, and it said to her, "Hey, lady, you're really ugly." Well, she was incredibly ticked now. The next day, the same parrot said to her, "Hey, lady, you're really ugly." The lady was so ticked that she went into the store and said that she would sue the store and kill the bird. Well, the store manager replied, "Well, that's not good." He promised that the parrot wouldn't say it again. So when the lady walked past the store the day after, the parrot called out to her, "Hey, lady." Well, she paused and said, "Yes." Well, the bird said, "You know." Sally was driving home from one of her business trips in northern Arizona when she saw an elderly Navajo woman walking on the side of the road. Well, as the trip was a long and quiet one, she stopped the car and asked the Navajo woman if she would like a ride. Well, with a word or two of thanks, she got in the car. After resuming the journey and a bit of small talk, the Navajo woman noticed a brown bag on the seat next to Sally. "What's in the bag?" asked the old woman. Well, Sally looked down at the brown bag and said, "What's a bottle of wine? Got it for my husband." Well, the Navajo woman was silent for a moment, then, speaking with the quiet wisdom of an elder, said, "Good trade." You've all heard of the Air Force's ultra high security, super secret base in Nevada, simply known as Area 51. Well, late one afternoon, the Air Force folks out at Area 51 were surprised to see a Cessna landing at their secret base. Well, they immediately impounded the aircraft and hauled the pilot into an interrogation room. The pilot's story was that he took off from Vegas, got lost, and spotted the base just as he was about to run out of fuel. Well, the Air Force started a full FBI background check on the pilot and held him overnight during the investigation. Well, by the next day, they were finally convinced that the pilot really was lost and wasn't a spy. They gassed up his airplane and gave him a terrifying "you did not see a base" briefing, complete with threats of spending the rest of his life in prison. They told him Vegas was that away and such heading and sent him on the way. Well, the day after, though, in the total disbelief of the Air Force, the same Cessna shows up again. Once again, the MPs surround the plane, only this time there's two people on the plane. The same pilot jumped out and said, "Do anything you want to me, but my wife's in the plane and you gotta tell her where I was last night." Mafia Godfather finds out that his bookkeeper of 20 years, Guido, has cheated him out of $10 million. Guido is deaf, which is why he got the job in the first place. Well, the Godfather assumed that since Guido couldn't hear anything, he could never testify in court. Well, when the Godfather goes to confront Guido about the missing 10 million, he takes along his personal lawyer because he knows sign language. Well, the Godfather tells the lawyer, "Ask him where the money is." Well, the lawyer, using sign language, asks Guido, "Where's the money?" Well, Guido signs back, "I don't know what you're talking about." The lawyer tells the Godfather, he says he doesn't know what you're talking about. Well, the Godfather pulls out a pistol and puts it to Guido's head and says, "Ask him again, or I'll kill him." The lawyer signs to Guido, "He'll kill you if you don't tell him." Well, Guido trembles and signs back, "Okay, you win. The money's in a brown briefcase buried behind the shed at my cousin Bruno's house." The Godfather asks the lawyer, "Well, what did he say?" The lawyer replies, "He says you don't have the balls to pull the trigger." The Pope just finished a tour of the East Coast and was taking a limousine back to the airport. Well, since he'd never driven a limo, he asked the chauffeur if he could drive for a little while. Well, the reluctant chauffeur pulled over along the roadside and climbed into the back of the limo, and the Pope took the wheel. Well, the Pope merged onto the highway and accelerated over 90 miles an hour just to see what the limo could do. Suddenly, the Pope noticed the blue lights of a state trooper in the back mirror, so he pulled over. Well, the trooper approached the limo, peered in through the windows, and said, "Just a second, I better go call this in." So the trooper called in and explained to the chief that he had a very important person pulled over for speeding. "How do I handle it, chief?" he asked. "Well, is it the governor?" questioned the chief. "No, this guy's even more important." "Well, is it the president?" asked the chief. "No, even more important." "Well, who the heck is it?" "Well, I don't know, sir, but he's got the Pope as his chauffeur."